to episode 203 of the Parkrun Adventurous podcast. You may not have realised it was episode 203 because we did the whole episode 202 without actually introducing the episode. Whoops, we forgot to say what number we're up to. But yes, no, this one is definitely episode 203. My name is Mel Urbacher. I am joined by the wonderful Dave Moss. In the same room as me this time, we've managed to hopefully, fingers crossed, figure out how to do the technology with us being in the same room. Dave, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Mel. And I've got to admit, it's very nice to be here on this, the last day of the financial year.
Yes, it's an end of financial year podcast. We've got all the stock take sales happening. Well, that would work if we actually had merchandise, which we don't. So,
What, do you mean there are no more ugly Christmas T-shirts?
Oh, there will be more. There will be more ugly Christmas singlets.
T-shirts? No, they were jumpers, weren't they?
They were singlets, Dave.
Oh, okay. I've never been very good on clothing.
Get your merchandise range correct before you make comments.
Okay, there goes the marketing area.
Yeah, but no, that's. I'm happy you bring that up actually because I have been toying with starting the design a little bit earlier this year, and hopefully we'll get some time in the next couple of months to get that sorted. So keep an eye out. Ugly Christmas Singlet version 3.0 coming soon. Okay,
that'll be something that I'm sure people are queued up and waiting for. And if it's a limited production, as it has been in the past, they could become collector's items.
Oh, definitely.
They have been collector's items.
They are. And look, 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, bushfire / locust plague edition. It could be an interesting kind of ugly Christmas singlet this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not a disaster T-shirt since everything else has been disasters.
Yeah.
So it's one way of putting something slightly different on the COVID T-shirt. No.
We certainly won't be saying words like that. No. We're going to turn the year around, Dave. The ugly Christmas singlets are going to redeem 2020.
We are, right. Okay, we're into the second half of the year, which is going to be compensating for the first half.
Yes.
So we'll call it karma, yin and yang. The first half of 2020 was a very big negative here. So next half will be a complete positive.
Yes, it's going to be the redemption. And speaking of redemptions, I don't know about you, Dave, but I have been doing not parkrun, which is the best thing to come out of parkrun since parkrun.
It is. Yeah. There aren't too many things that have come out of parkrun since parkrun, but yeah, the not parkrun. I don't know how many people actually know about it. It's been in the newsletters, but I don't really know how many people have been participating or what their plans are.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not following it too closely. I know the first week they had almost 19,000 participants across 20 countries.
Oh, really?
Which isn't too shabby. And I'm sure as word gets out, it's going to grow week on week. And I've seen that happening just at our home parkrun, which is Kuana. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember exactly how many people were on the first week. I think it might have been 8. We might have had 8 in the results for the first week, but we made it into double digits for the second week.
I'm glad to say, yes, I have done it, and I have been listed in each of those, and will be for the third one too this week.
Excellent. I'm still planning my not parkrun outing for this week. I have actually been doing them on the Saturdays, and I know you can do more than one. You can do them every day of the week if you want. And look, I got a PB last week. I'm pretty excited. Somebody, a good friend of mine, you may recall, his name is Scotty. He asked me earlier this week how I managed to wrangle a PB. And I just said to him, you just have to go a bit faster than the week before.
So when you say a PB, Mel, do you mean a not parkrun PB or an overall parkrun plus not parkrun PB?
No, I mean a not parkrun PB. So
okay.
This is the beauty
of
it.
So out of the 2 parkruns you've done, the second one was faster than the first?
Yes, I'm faster every time, so far.
Okay, yep. Well, I can say snap to that. Yes, mine increased as well, but
or decreased, as it were.
Okay, the time decreased. But I don't know about yourself, but since parkrun ceased back in, when was it, March?
It was March, mid-March. It's been a long time.
Okay, that decade ago. I have certainly lost fitness going by my results.
Yep. The COVID kilos are piling on.
Yeah, lifestyle is not conducive to Olympic medal proportions by any means.
No. And so I think that's the beauty of Not Parkrun. We get to start fresh. You know, that very first week is the benchmark by which the rest of them are measured. And
so for anyone who starts off doing not parkrun, we should emphasise, try not to put too much effort into the very first run. That way you're almost guaranteed to get a PB the following week.
Walk the first one if you can. You know, I'm a little bit angry at myself. I took more than 3.5 minutes off, and that's a lot of lost PBs in the middle along the way. And now that puts a lot of pressure on week 3.
Did you do your run actually at Akuana, at your home course, or did you do it somewhere else?
No, I did both of them. I'm doing the same course that I've set for myself, which is just a little loop around Palmwoods where I live.
Right.
Looks a little bit like a toilet on Strava. Not the course itself. When you get out on the course, it's quite scenic. We've got ponds, there are ducks involved, run past a school and through lovely leafy suburbs. The course itself does not look like a toilet, but on Strava,
Okay.
the map of it resembles a bit of a toilet shape with an open lid. In fact, the lid is kind of it's on its way to soft closing.
I'm glad we didn't actually choose you to sort out the astrological symbols of the stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Capricorn, Virgo, toilet, it just doesn't really...
Yes. So where have you been running your Not Parkruns, Dave? Have you actually been doing physical courses or just...
where was it? The first one was in... I have to have a little think now. Brisbane? That's right. The Boondall Wetlands. So a group of half dozen of us went down to, this is northern Brisbane, and ran a 5 kilometre course there. Well, actually, it was more like 6 or 8, and I just took the first 5 kilometres off that. And so that was the very first one. And it was actually quite an enjoyable course. And last week we went down and jogged the Mansfield course in Brisbane. And so that's the one I've used. But as Kauana's the home course, that's where I just left it to go up there.
Oh, of course. That's what you do. You wouldn't change it each week because that would just get confusing. And I'm sure all your Not Parkrun results, if you changed your home parkrun each week, it would change all the results for all the weeks.
We don't know.
That might be a question we should have asked somebody.
Something to try.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to leave my home parkrun as it is.
It's like changing football teams. You've got your home parkrun. There's nothing quite like the home one.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And yeah, it's been awesome seeing the familiar names popping up on the list, and there are a few of us who participated for the second time in the second week. So there were a couple of PBs happening, which is cool to see. And I would be interested to find out where everyone else is actually doing their 5 kilometre runs or walks, because this is the first time I've really thought about, we are. And I know that seems bizarre because obviously we're all doing it in different places and different times, but I'd be interested to hear where everyone else is doing theirs. Maybe we should ask them.
Yeah, probably the best possible feedback.
Yeah. Now, you got a PB this week.
I did.
By how many minutes, seconds?
Yeah, I've forgotten. No, it'd be... honestly don't know. Minutes? No, sorry, I have to go and look at the results.
You're not going to... Hey, actually, here's some results that I prepared earlier. Let me have a look.
I hate to say it, I can't even remember what my best time is for the normal park run results. How many runs I've done. It's all gone back.
I'm a bit foggy on those details too. I think I'm about up to 179, maybe 169. Oh, I don't know. David Moss, where are you? So this week, your PB, you did 21:30.
Oh, okay.
That's your new PB. What did you put down for week 1? You popped down 25:09. So
there you are.
There you go. That's more than 3.5 minutes. It's close to 4 minutes.
There may have been a bit of walking involved.
Okay, the first week. You took it easy, representing the Leo Wanker Academy of Fitness.
A fine group of upstanding gentlemen. Oh, sorry, and ladies.
I was going to say, is it only gentlemen?
No, it's one
I'm
of
sure the
the.
academy has gender equality going on there.
It does, where we have hit the 21st century at a flying run or walk, as the case may be.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm like I said, I'm a bit annoyed at myself because now this does put the pressure on me for the week, and I'll admit it's because I'm not great at maths. I was trying to do an average that would garner me a PB, but I was just not capable of actually adding up those numbers on the run. And so I thought by the 4th kilometre or the 5th kilometre that I could do a 10-minute K. I could slow down to that much if I wanted to comfortably, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I just didn't risk it. And as a result, I knocked off way too many
You weren't
minutes.
trying to also complete your stopwatch bingo, or have you already done that?
No, I've still got a couple of bingos to go, actually. And here's the point. Do all the challenges start afresh for not parkrun? That's a question for Andy and Laura
Yes.
of running challenges. We might have to put that to them. That would be pretty cool.
I'm trying to get a parallel challenges. So
Parallel set going on.
Stopwatch bingo, not the Southern Cross Club or whatever they are.
Yes, the not. I love that, the not stopwatch bingo. Maybe I'll have more luck with the not stopwatch bingo than I've had with the actual stopwatch bingo.
As in, okay. Well, there's a question that
there is a no stopwatch bingo because there's no stopwatch.
Okay, true. This one, because you submit your own results, you could actually.
Oh, you could fudge them a little bit. Oh, it's an honor system.
Not that anyone would do that.
No, you're only cheating yourself.
Maybe for that 11-minute 5K, that would be. There's a possibility.
Oh, I have 11-minute 5Ks. Oh, no. I was thinking 11-minute kilometre. No, I certainly don't have an 11-minute 5 kilometre at any time.
Now, I understand the Lords and Masters of the results page, they have yet to decide what's actually going to go on with the parkrun page, whether it's going to continue once parkrun continues again.
Well, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, it's not parkrun. So yes. When parkrun returns, it's just the holding. The virtual runs are just the holding thing. I mean, at any given time, we already have freedom runs that people can log, but of course, those are actually dedicated to a particular course. So you have to nominate the course that you do. You can't just do a freedom run of your own toilet bowl section in Palmwoods to log one of those.
And that's one I need to complete.
Yes, you do. You should come and do it at some point because it's a wonderful event.
Because I guess if every country starts up their parkrun again in different weeks or months, if they did decide to stop it, then the not parkrun would also stop.
Yeah, so for example, I don't know what the decision has been with New Zealand. So New Zealand are launching or relaunching again this weekend. They're returning after the pause, which is amazing. However, they've also had 2 weeks, and this is the 3rd week of not parkrun results. So I'm not sure whether or not it's going to stop there or if it's going to, as you say, run in tandem.
Yeah. Should we mention at the moment that possibly everyone is green with envy of New Zealand, by the way? Leave that till later.
No, look, let's talk about New Zealand because I'm excited for them.
I think it's marvellous.
Yeah, I'm going to be living vicariously through them, as I know many other parkrun adventurers are all over the world.
New Zealand passports look very much like Australian passports on first glance too.
Maybe we should test that out at the border control. We haven't got our little trans-Tasman bubble up and going just yet. Hopefully it's not too far away. Yes, we were planning a trip to New Zealand, which I hope to still manage by the end of the year. But yeah, it's I'm excited for New Zealand.
Absolutely. Brilliant for them.
Definitely. And you know what else they're doing? in a really, really lovely gesture of solidarity with the rest of the world, a whole bunch of the New Zealand events have adopted a country, a parkrun country specifically. So parkrun operates in 22 different countries in the world, and from that list, more than 22 New Zealand events. So there's a couple that are actually doubling up on countries because we've got 30 events in New Zealand. They've adopted a country to basically represent. They're going to be celebrating with us from afar. They're going to be wearing the colours and tagging the events and choosing all sorts of different ways and shapes and forms to interact with the country of their adoption, just so that we can all feel a little bit involved. And I think it's really nice.
I think it's great. Does that mean somewhere in New Zealand they'll be eating pavlova to celebrate? Or is that a bit too controversial?
Yes, you don't bring up the pavlova debate, Dave, because so maybe lamingtons are more appropriate. Oh, the Kiwis have got everything sorted; they really do. Parkrun, not the least of all those things.
White wine, they do well on. Not so good on the red, but yeah.
They've got all the hobbits. There will be a lot of Facebook stalking happening from my house. I can tell you that much. Not in a creepy way, but there will be lots of photos checked out after the event. And did you know, you may have heard that with me now, our friends of the podcast from over the other side of the planet are organising a Facebook. Well, I don't know if it's a Facebook Live. It's a live cross anyway. It's a live cross to New Zealand. They're going to be checking in with the team at Pegasus Parkrun.
Okay, and whereabouts is Pegasus?
Pegasus. Oh, Dave, now you're going to get me in trouble. I am getting up to speed with my New Zealand event geography. Fairly confident Pegasus is on the South Island.
Okay.
Yeah. And Hannah Oldroyd, who has been interviewed for our podcast as well, is going to be part of that live feed. Whether or not Hannah is actually taking people for a run around the course, I think she must be, which would be great because, I think that's possibly the fastest I would have ever seen a parkrun run because she is much faster than I am. So if anyone is keen to check in on that, head over to With Me Now podcast Facebook page, and I'm sure all the details will be there.
Okay. And for those who don't know, which is us, Pegasus is just north of Christchurch.
Well, there you go. That's South Island.
It is. It's South Island.
We did know. We're not.
You did, yes.
Well, we had a good hunch. We were fairly confident.
Okay, so they're tuning in over from the UK, so that must be almost, 11 or 12 hours apart?
Yeah, so it'll be Friday evening for our friends in the Northern Hemisphere, which will work out nicely for them. They can get their parkrun fix on a Friday evening, and then when it's time for them to get their not parkrun in on Saturday, they've got the whole day free to do it.
Be beautiful. As I say, I think very good on New Zealand, and the rest of the world will be extremely envious.
They will indeed. Now, speaking of envy, we have got a roving report from Melissa Ellis from Ellis Palace Parkrun. She has submitted another one this week. She's had some adventurers. Oh, and I shouldn't say this week because, bless her, she submitted it several weeks ago when she had the visitors. And I've been watching the progress of Ellis Palace Parkrun, and they have had many special guests in recent weeks. But this one harks back to a couple of weeks ago, earlier in June, where she had Brendan Peel and Renee Jackson from Wyndham Vale Parkrun head along to visit. And let's have a little bit of a listen, shall we?
Okay.
Good morning, Parkrun adventurers, and welcome to Event 14 at Ellis Palace Parkrun Unofficial. We've had some tourists here this morning. Very proud to welcome friend to the podcast, Brendan Peel, known to you all. Good morning, Brendan.
G'day, Mel. Lovely to be here, mate.
And new to the podcast, she is a run director at Wyndham Vale Parkrun and a very good friend of mine, Renee Jackson. Welcome.
Good morning, Mel. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. We had attendance record here today at Ellis Palace Parkrun. Paul joined us, so that made 4. All socially distanced, and we had a lovely run. That rain overnight made me a bit nervous, but the skies cleared. So Meltown was nice and sunny for our run. Now, I want to start with you first, Renee, because we haven't spoken to you before. You are from Wyndham Vale Parkrun. Tell us how you got into parkrun.
Well, it's a lovely story, actually. I had a friend of a friend who started stalking me for quite some time. And she contacted me one day and said, there's a parkrun opening in your area and I would like you to come. And so that just gave me the confidence, and for that I thank you, Mel, because it actually changed my life, and I have really, really enjoyed becoming part of parkrun, and it's all thanks to you.
Oh, you're welcome. I didn't wish for that at all. No, but you came back, you see. I might have got you there, but you kept coming back. And how many events now have you done at Wyndham Vale?
I'm up to 120 something, I think, at Wyndham Vale, and 160 all up.
And you went on to the event team.
Yes, I'm run director at Wyndham Vale, part of a wonderful team actually. Our run directors are a lot of fun and our event directors are fantastic, and we've got a really, really good community spirit going at Wyndham Vale. And
I can remember turning up on your 50th with a tutu and balloons and fairy wings. They all looked at us really strangely and kept wishing you happy birthday.
That was a really fun morning, actually, and I tried to get the fairy wings to stick. I actually made multiple people wear fairy wings for their 50th run for a little while, but then the wings went AWOL, I think, and we moved on to capes, which has stuck very well. Everyone loves the capes.
And, of course, Cluck Norris.
And Cluck Norris! Oh, my goodness.
He's famous.
He's fun. The kids particularly, actually no, I think the big kids enjoy Cluck Norris's company a lot more.
No, it's a thing. You've got to get a selfie with Cluck Norris when you visit Wyndham Vale. So, okay, what I wanted to ask is, how have you coped in the pause?
To be honest, at first I didn't really. I sort of went into a bit of a lull and I wasn't running at all. I really missed it in that first month, I think, of not having the Saturday morning routine, but I noticed my kids were sort of feeling a little bit lethargic, and they were struggling a bit with the isolation and missing everyone, so it was them that sort of encouraged me to get moving again. And instead of running, we were often cycling, trying to get out every day on our bikes, so there was a bit of substitution for a little while. So yeah, I just found other ways eventually once I got through my little isolation blues. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to parkrun coming back. Impatiently waiting.
And you've already logged your not parkrun today?
I did straight. It was like first thing.
Well, thank you for coming over and being a special guest at Ellis Palace.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the morning tea as well.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Brendan Peel.
Mel, lovely to be here.
I'm sure that a lot of people out there, being that you're such a big tourist and you're probably one of Australia's most prolific tourists, how have you coped?
Life just went back to pretty much normal before parkrun. I was away on Kangaroo Islands, hoping to do Kangaroo Island parkrun when the lockdown happened, and that was just a little bit high. Then just things went back to normal. I got vouchers for all the things I had booked. I actually did some domestic duties. I mowed my lawns and pulled out weeds and done all the stuff that had been neglected. I haven't sort of got too excited with the virtual events, to be honest, and I sort of haven't been for a couple of runs. But I'm just probably happy with very small things. Like even coming here, it's definitely not a park run, but it's still really damn good to see some people you haven't seen in ages, to have the sunlight beaming through the window and you're just sitting having a cuppa with your parkrun friends. So it's good to appreciate the simple things in life instead of rushing off all over the country parkrunning.
And you said earlier you've rediscovered your local area as well a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I've realised that I've hardly spent any time in this suburb over weekends. So I found out, the old paper. I live in Fairfield, so the paper mill estate where the paper mill used to be has got all these houses built that I've never seen. Everyone's out and about, walking their dog, riding bikes with their kids, like Renee was saying. So many people out and about in the local area. And effectively the whole community is just basically forced to live simply, pretty much how we would have many years ago. So there's a certain beauty in that, even though, look, don't worry, I'm chopping a bit to get out and about again. But yeah, life's just simple and it's still pretty darn good. Yeah.
And what have you got a fake park run? Tell us the name of your fake park run that you've...
Yeah, it's got a great name, but it's got a very poor track record. It's Peelsville Sanctuary Park Run. So popular the name is that there's even some wildlife park that's copied the name a little bit. Unfortunately, though, it's struggled with numbers, it's struggled with the course, it's struggled with volunteers. It's got a big enthusiasm. They're struggling with that too, but I'm sure in the future at some stage they might get their first run done at some stage. So while there's light, there's hope. So. And
how did you find the course today?
Oh, it was good. It was good suburban footpaths, road crossings. Instead of having a tail runner, we had a lead runner by the name of Paul, that charming young husband of yours. He was great. He pointed us in the right direction. We all would have got lost without him. Stopped us from tripping on the builder's mud from all the new housing sites and stuff. And it was a gorgeous morning. A couple of spits of rain overnight and beautiful sunshine. You couldn't ask for any better, could you?
I don't think so. And I certainly was excited last night when I went to bed, knowing that I had a couple of friends coming to join the morning with me. So I thank you very much for that.
Oh, an absolute pleasure, Mel. Thank you.
Yeah, attendance record. Did I say that earlier? I did. All righty. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you coming over this morning. I hope we get back to real parkrun soon. Enjoy finding new ways to keep parkrun active in your life, and I shall see you around again shortly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Well, wasn't that awesome listening to Melissa chatting to her guests at Ellis Palace Parkrun again? It's nice to see the adventurers are still getting out there and doing the rounds, as it were.
It is indeed. I'm also I do like Brendan. I'm just sort of laughing a little bit that he didn't get to do Kangaroo Island.
Oh.
Simply because Kangaroo Island was the very last one that I managed to do before they all shut, which is a great shame.
Oh.
And it's great to get there. It takes the effort, but I guess it's been a few months now and we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, look, personally, I think that, Brendan, I share your Kangaroo Island curse, obviously. I went and it did not end the way that I had hoped it would end. So maybe one day we'll all get back to there together and can get that one under our belt as well. Lovely also to hear from Renee Jackson from Wyndham Vale Parkrun. It's always cool to hear the origins of another run director's parkrun story. So thanks, Melissa, for sending that in. And I should mention Melissa Ellis and Ollie Spake will be back next week for episode 204 of the Parkrun Adventurers. They're going to take over the show again. They didn't completely rock the boat last time, so we're going to let them have another crack.
No, I thought they did very well.
Yeah, they did. They did. Now, Dave, we've had some news this week that has, speaking of rocking the boat, has been received with mixed emotions and responses across the parkrun landscape, and that is, of course, that the New Year's Day double, which has been a bit of a fixture of the adventurer calendar for the past few years, is now a thing of the past.
Yes, when the double is down, it becomes a solo event.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're still having at least one run on the day. It's nice to have that on New Year's Day. But yes, we're down to one, so I know a lot of people will be a little bit disappointed there.
Yeah, that's understandable. The disappointment is understandable. Hopefully everyone can appreciate the reasoning behind it and understand it to at least a certain extent. As you say, it's wonderful that we still get to do one. It's still an additional day outside of a normal parkrun day that we get to do a special event, which is great. And what better way to start the New Year's than at a parkrun, even if it's just the one?
Just the one, but at least I can also think after the occasional large New Year's Eve, one may be all that...
One might be enough. Indeed, one might be too much for some people.
The early ones, over in the UK or in Europe, where you start at 9 o'clock for the first run, is a lot easier. But I seem to recall doing one or two here, doing them in stinking hot weather. And by the time you start the second run, you're already dehydrated, partly from the overconsumption of the wrong liquids the night before. But after the first run, had enough, and you're sort of dragging your way through it to make it through the second.
Yeah, 7 a.m. start times are
Yeah.
a bit challenging
But
sometimes,
I
aren't
must admit,
they?
like most park runs, it's nice having the social aspect.
Yeah. And look, let's just hope that 2021, there are enough countries that we can actually have a park run on the 1st of January.
Yes.
It might not even be a thing next year at all for some places. Let's just really hope that it is.
Well, when you talk about things like anniversaries as well, it's been so long. When's the last time we had cake?
Oh, far too long since we've had cake at parkrun. That's a good point. What are you missing, Dave? Or no, let's rephrase that. Let's have a little bit of a daydream about what we're looking forward to most when we come back. Let's pretend the rest of the world is in the same situation as our lovely siblings over in New Zealand, and we're coming back this weekend. What are you looking forward to most?
I have to say, actually catching up and with people that I know and like, catching up with friends. And I say that not knowing exactly where I'll be running. I know my home course is Kuana, but I don't seem to get there very often. So depending where I actually am at the time, one of the good things about doing as a parkrun adventurer of the actual travelling is going to some odd town in the middle of nowhere and just bumping into someone on a parkrun day. And that's the sort of thing, I really enjoy. How about yourself, Mel?
It's a bit of a tricky one. Every now and again, Adam will go out for a run. More frequently, Adam will go out for a run because, let's face it, I just have not been running. I've barely been walking since parkrun went on pause. The not parkrun has actually got me back out there and completing the 5 kilometers again, which has been amazing. And it's nice to have that motivation to start getting moving again. So I'm very grateful that they have instigated that initiative. But yeah, as I mentioned, every time Adam goes out for a run and Wes asks where Daddy is, and I say, oh, he's just gone for a run, and he'll actually say, oh, Daddy's gone to parkrun. And so it's been 3 months, and that's a long time in a 3-year-old's life. So the fact that he still remembers it every time I put on a T-shirt that's got the logo on it, or the bird, he sees the bird in the garage on a selfie frame or something, he'll twig that's parkrun. This means parkrun, and he'll ask if we're going to parkrun. And we've had to say to him several times, well, no, obviously we're not going to parkrun. So I'm looking forward to that first time that I get him out of bed early and have him ask me, are we going to parkrun? That I can say yes.
Oh.
Yes, we're going to parkrun.
I would have actually thought that you're missing out on wearing costumes. I don't know what you do in your personal life at home. But,
I don't miss
the various outfits. Okay. We'll leave that one in.
No.
So if you suddenly put on a Big Bird outfit or something, Wes will think, parkrun. But he doesn't.
Well, no, the costumes are less, I guess, associated with parkrun for him than they are just with me.
In general,
so they're more
okay.
associated with me in general. I mean, you are sitting in the same room as a giant panda head on the floor at the moment.
Yes, okay.
And that made an appearance at a staff meeting last week. So, the costumes are still getting a little bit away.
I can understand. You're not wearing them down to Woolies or whatever it is. This is your mask. Or...
No, I did consider back when we were doing the whole social distancing thing like fairly strictly. And to be honest, I actually just wasn't going out at that time. But when I did consider going out, I do have that Slimer costume from Ghostbusters, which is an inflatable costume that makes people stand at least 2 meters away from you because it just makes you much larger than you actually are. And I thought about going shopping in my Slimer costume, but the peripheral vision's not great in the costume. And I did worry that if somebody coughed into the mouth opening, that literally the virus would be circulating in this plastic bubble that I would be trapped in. So yeah, the germaphobe in me didn't allow me to go out in my Slimer costume as much as I was tempted.
I better not mention my Mr. Hanky costume. On this show, but I'm sure that would keep people at their distance. But we'll leave that one.
Oh, but you know what we did do? Oh my goodness, we went out last weekend for the very first time with both the boys. Emmett is walking now, and so when we take him out to public places, mostly it's been fine. We've been at home, he just walks around barefoot, but we're thinking, oh, now he's going to want to walk in parks and on paths and things where there could be glass or rocks or other things. So we really should get him some shoes. So we took them to the shopping centre to get some shoes. And Wesley chose that time when he was sitting on the step that they have for the shoes to start coughing. And I was like, Wesley, cover your mouth when you cough. And then every time you tell him to cover his mouth, he actually covers it and then makes himself cough more, just so that he can cough into his arm. And Emmett has started copying everything we do. So, of course, Emmett sees Wesley coughing, and so he starts fake coughing too. And I just could have died right there, because all these people were like, I'm sure they were looking at us thinking, why have you brought these children that are coughing to the store? When Wes he coughs if he runs, if he gets excited and he runs too much, it just makes him cough. And that's always been the case. And yeah, so they have not got the virus. I've taken them to the doctors and established that fact before we went out. And oh my goodness. Yes, but I'm digressing a lot. We were talking about costumes, and now somehow we're talking about my boys having shoes and coughing in shopping centres. But yes, no, I'm not missing the costumes. I am missing the people. I am really missing the volunteering. I've been quite down repeatedly, and I couldn't pinpoint why, and I've just come to the realisation that that's why.
We truly are social animals.
We are. I didn't expect to be missing it as much as I am, and it's the same with not parkrun. I mean, we've talked about it in earlier in the episode, but we didn't explain obviously the rules. That we're kind of working on the assumption that most people know how to do not parkrun, and if you don't, please look it up on the website, and all the details are there. There are frequently asked questions and everything on the parkrun.com website as well about not parkrun. But yeah, seeing the names in the results that very first week, even though it wasn't a real event, I was really surprised at how much it got me. I got a bit emotional about it, and I just wasn't expecting that, because I'm not competitive. I don't usually look at the results most weeks unless I'm checking to see if somebody was there that I missed, or Adam and I are talking about it afterwards and he says, oh, so-and-so did really well, and then I go and look up the results and things. So I don't usually look at them for my result, and it wasn't about seeing my name there, but it was about, these are names that I haven't seen for months, literally, and they're in the results. And so they're still out there and they're still doing things. And I miss those people, and I do miss the connections on a weekly basis, I guess, because for us, by and large, our social life is parkrun. We don't see too many people outside of that. So as much as I'm a homebody and my lifestyle itself didn't change too much with the restrictions that got put in place, the not going to parkrun has been a big deal. And not least of all, oh my gosh, for my fitness. Far out. The COVID kilos are a real thing. And as evidenced by my not parkrun times, at the moment they're sub 50 minutes, but they're not sub 40 minutes. And so they're not fast by any means, but it's a start.
No, I've found parkrun was a very good motivation to stay at least moderately healthy, behave a bit on the Friday night, and actually go out and do the odd run during the week.
Yep, to help improve.
Winter doesn't help when we're trying to isolate a little bit as well. Yeah, things have changed. So I am looking forward. My body is looking forward to parkrun starting up. Yeah, not just the mind, but the actual body could certainly do with a little bit of...
I think my wardrobe is looking forward to it, because there are a lot of clothes that are not seeing the light of day at the moment because they don't fit around the body at the moment.
I think, that's one of the disadvantages actually of going for a jog. Mine tend to get smelly and sweaty, the clothes. So
the clothes, yeah.
I'm negative with the whole lot. Well, it's not just the clothes, it's me.
Well, yeah. But, that's what showers are for.
They are. And, there's something very nice about having a hot shower after going for a long run.
There really is. You've earned it.
Okay. The other thing I think a lot of people are looking forward to is the potential of some new runs coming up too. So parkrun is still alive and well. It's just in a bit of a hiatus at the moment. But knowing that there will be new runs that, especially for people who want to get out there, the parkrun adventurers, new places that they'll have the opportunity to go to. It may take a little while after the parkrun starts up again, But with a bit of luck, people will be able to see new areas, new places by running.
Absolutely. As we heard from Tom Williams when he was on the podcast last episode, the new events that were set to launch before the pause happened, they're all still lined up, waiting to go. Their event teams are excited and looking forward to it. And I'm excited to report that the event, I did mention earlier in the year, I've got itchy feet to start a new event myself, and things are progressing slowly, probably more slowly than I would like, but some funding is already allocated to the event. We've managed to have some success with a small grant application, which is awesome. So there's still some work to do in that area, and some work to do with the course and things like that. But yes, things are moving forward slowly. So who knows? I mean, we don't know how long it's going to be until parkrun's back in Australia. Maybe my new event will be ready to go when the time comes.
Excellent.
Well, we should probably leave it there for this week, Dave. Thank you for coming out to little old Palmwoods to join me. Not on the toilet run this time, maybe next time.
Oh, looking forward to it. Avoiding all the puns and things that go with that, but yes.
Yes, well, you yourself have once recorded in a toilet, so I don't think you would be averse to that situation anyway.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'll leave that out. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and on that note, I think that'll pretty much do it until whenever the next podcast is, since there's no set date.
Yes, that's it from Palmwoods this week. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much for having me.
And happy adventuring, everybody out there.
Stay healthy.